We welcome you to Los Angeles, California. I'm Ed Cohen with the former Chicago Bull, Jay Williams. And Jay, 16 banners, many retired numbers, the aura and the mystique. Greet the opponent here tonight.
Ed, all those accolades are great, but we're talking about 2019. This is a new, young Lakers team. Let's see what kind of effort they bring on the floor tonight.
Let's do it here from Staples Center. Won by the Miami Heat. To Waiters. They'll go to Butler down low. And he's going to the line to shoot.
It's still early, so no real impact on that call. But you know that they're going to call this one tight, so you might want to keep your hands out of his pocket.
Jimmy Butler, couple of free throws on the way. A career 83% free throw shooter. First one goes down. And gets both to drop at the line. Jay, Magic and Kobe each won 5 titles. How are you going to judge LeBron James' legacy in L.A.?
LeBron James wins 1 championship in L.A. That means he will set himself apart. He will have won 4 championships in 3 different cities. Now, that is polarizing for some fans. That still does not take away from the overall greatness and the legacy of LeBron James.
Dragic with it. Looking to make something happen. To Butler. Dragic. Oh, good defense by the Lakers. They come away with the steal.
It's early. Get a good quality shot here.
And he's fouled. Nice move that time, and he's going to the line for 2.
Trust me, you want to avoid early foul trouble. Take that one as a warning.
First free throw is good. No back-to-back free throws here. He missed the second. It's the Heat with the possession. Dragic to Waiters. Nothing going here on that drive. They'll get it down to Leonard. Off the assist.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Across the timeline comes James. They trail by 1. And scores.
Hey, look, pretty dudes can mix it up once in a while too, I guess.
Dragic with the basketball. He'll run the offense. Unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
LeBron with it up top. Down a point. To Danny Green. Kuzma. Lakers down to 4 on the shot clock. James, his first effort off the mark. Butler into the front court. His team up by 1. Good look that time, but off the mark. LeBron James, 2 for 3 now here in the first. Jay, what makes LeBron so special on the offensive end?
Well, first and foremost, look at that frame. 6'9", 265 pounds. With the agilities of a guard, he can blow by you. If he dips that shoulder, there's no way. There is nobody in the NBA that can guard that man one-on-one.
Danny Green to James. From the painted area, won't go down. Dragic into the front court. Down by 1. To Butler. To Dragic. Here comes the screen. Dragic against Cousins. To Butler. And Davis there to grab the rebound. Davis to Cousins. Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him.
What happened is he didn't balance himself off the defender. He didn't initiate contact. He allowed the contact to initiate him. We could break that down later in the broadcast, but that's why he missed that easy chip.
Able to convert inside.
Old school equals high percentage.
LBJ has it. To Davis. Kuzma. To Davis. Here's James. LeBron James. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
Assist from number 3, Anthony Davis.
Just inside the arc. At the buzzer. We're through one from Staples Center with the Lakers on top. Jay and I return to the City of Angels after this. You're watching the NBA on EA Sports. Good start to this one. After one quarter of play, on to the second period. Jay, neither team was able to get control to start this one.
I know you're wondering why I'm clapping. Both teams came out in the first quarter and they executed. When do you ever see that, Ed? You have to continue to bring those competitive juices into the second quarter, and we're going to have one heck of a ball game.
Butler to Waiters. Trying to cash in. Dion Waiters. He's finally on the board. Makes his first shot.
Every NBA player has a superpower. His, obviously, is that depth perception, because that trajectory leads the ball to the net every time.
Cousins gets a look. Can't hit. Butler to bring it up. Leads one. Dragic to Butler. Here comes the screen. Now preparing to shoot at the line.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots, each and every one of them.
Jimmy Butler has got 2 shots coming. Hasn't missed yet. And hits the first free throw. Can't connect on the second, and he splits the pair. LeBron into the front court. Down just a couple. Down low for Davis. To James. For 3. Off the mark. Jay, sometimes it's not just the Heat that does opponents in Miami.
I've been a victim to this multiple times when we have played the Heat, and I think other franchises from cold cities have been the same. There's a reason why the Miami Heat have such an advantage down here on South Beach. You catch them on an off night, it's rare that opposing teams are ready to play.
James to Davis. Now ready for a couple of free throws.
Great job, Ed, by the shooter to create contact after the jump. That's how you get to the free throw line.
Off the mark on the first free throw. Off the mark. 0 for 2 at the line. It's the Heat with the possession. Butler to Waiters. They'll go to Butler down low. Oh, he had him there for a second. Not today. James into the front court. Down 2. To Kyle Kuzma. Knocked loose. He'd get control.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Butler in a matchup with Boogie. And the Lakers clear. LeBron into the front court. They trail by 2. To Kyle Kuzma. Knocked loose. He'd come up with it. Ah, missed it. How'd that not go down?
Ed, the game is so different. In today's NBA, defenders are longer, quicker, and more athletic than we've ever seen before. So offensively, as a shooter, you either have to be able to create more space off the dribble for your shot or have a much faster release. Ideally, you have both in your arsenal.
Miami's got it. Butler. With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
From somebody who loved to score a lot himself, defensively, if you are guarding me in a parallel position, I can have whatever I want when I want. You have to force this guy to go one direction, make him go towards his weak hand, and then contest that shot.
Dragic with it. The margin is 2. Halftime on the horizon. Here comes the screen. Dragic. That's out. Last touch by Goran Dragic. James to Davis. LeBron James. With that, he's 5 for 9.
This offseason, I heard so many voices, even that of the great Shaquille O'Neal, talking about how LBJ needed to submit his own legacy. Well, for LeBron, it's not about chasing external accolades. It's about hunting your own legacy, and that's to be the greatest of all time. Oh! Out there looking like the Kimbe Mutombo.
Took it right to him, and the defender was ready. LeBron, not that time. Just inside the arc, at the buzzer. So we head to intermission all tied up in what's been a tight one from the start. Let's get you to Orlando, where we say hello to Jalen Rose in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Jalen.
Thanks, Ed. Let's get right into the action here. The Lakers will start the third quarter with a tie on the scoreboard. It's obvious how these guys scored the majority of their points, and that's in the paint. They did a great job of scoring down low. These are the guys getting buckets. The Heat are basically starting 0-0 to start the second half. And these guys have every reason to feel good about how they scored effectively in that opening half. Great offensive display. Have a look at the leading scorers.
First half stats. Player of the half.
Butler has been incredible around the basket, doing everything necessary to dominate on the boards.
Who was cold?
No one wants to be picked for this segment, but he couldn't avoid it. Maybe he'll turn things around in the second half. We got our top 3 plays for you. Check them out.
Number 2. Number 1.
And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
Jay, the Lakers, not just a great franchise, but they are a brand in the NBA. With LeBron James, what do you make of Laker fans accepting him maybe now or down the road as one of their own?
They better accept him now. I agree wholeheartedly with Jeannie Buss when she said they're not Laker fans if they're not happy about LeBron James. He is a Laker, and this is one of the most loyal fan bases we have, not just in this country, but in the entire world. The most Twitter followers of all the teams in the NBA.
Driving right to the basket. Goran Dragic. Small sample size, but making the most of it. He's 1 for 2.
I've seen him float so much on the perimeter, I forgot he even had that kind of physical presence. Good to see him beating up on people down low again.
Kuzma to James. Kuzma gets it at the top of the key. To James. Yes, tough shot. It's got to go up to go in.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
He'd have the basketball.
Defense, let's go.
Dragic to Waiters. Dragic to Butler. Jimmy Butler. He's 3 for 7.
Ooh, is there a medic in the house? You need to get those ankles retaped ASAP.
Across the timeline comes James. Our score all even in this third quarter. And he hits.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Butler into the front court. His guys find themselves trailing by a bucket. That's no good. Danny Green to James. Fires the 3. That's off the side of the rim, no good. To Butler. Throws it down.
How about right after the dunk, he looks right over towards the bench, gets a call from the coach about what defense they're in, and then gets his team set. Those are people that are able to lead men.
To Kyle Kuzma. James knocks it down. And Jay, so much better to get that shot beyond the arc than inside 22 feet.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
Dragic to Butler. And the rebound taken down by the Lakers. LeBron James with the rock. To Davis. Takes stock of the floor. Davis. Nothing going here on that drive. Chance here for LeBron. Knocks it down on the step back. That was not easy.
I get tired of hearing guys say, I was there, I contested a shot, I pretty much had a hand in his face. Well, no, you have to change up the game. If a guy is right-handed, he is right eye dominant. Get that hand over his right eye, block his vision. That'll enhance his chances of missing the shot.
DeMarcus Cousins sends it away. Free throws coming up.
The game is too tight for you to be taking risks like that. You want to avoid foul trouble at all costs.
Knocks down the first. And fails to hit them both. Hits the first, misses the second. Here's a chance from long range. Off the iron. No good. Just inside the arc. At the buzzer. Third quarter comes to an end. The Lakers have the lead. So the Heat will have it to start this fourth and final quarter. They trail to this point, but you'd have to say this one's up for grabs.
And the new style we play with in this league, all it takes is 3 quick threes, and you're right back in the ballgame.
It's been a compelling game so far. The fourth quarter is underway. Dragic to Butler. DeMarcus Cousins pins it.
You know, sometimes basketball can become a very beautiful thing to watch. During the regular season, things can get difficult. Energy can be low. The passion at times can even be lower because players are tired. They're fatigued. But today, it's all been good. They're putting in an absolute show with killer efficiency and tremendous effort and intensity.
DeMarcus Cousins not shaken for the early struggles. Maybe this is a sign of things to come.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays, no one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
To Butler. Going to launch beyond the arc. That won't go. And he's fouled. Very close. Free throws coming up.
This drives me nuts when I see fouls like that being called in a close game. Sometimes you just got to let them play, ref.
To the line, shooting 2.
Can't connect on the first free throw. And he's able to hit the second after missing that first one. Butler to bring it up. The margin standing now at 7. To Dragic. Count the basket at the rim.
Well, he finished strong because he was able to initiate the contact. When you initiate the contact first, you bounce off the defender, which balances you at the rim.
James to Kyle Kuzma. Can't connect. Dragic with the basketball. The deficit now up to 5. And the Lakers with the rebound. To James. Almost unlucky bounce. Another follow. Still no good. Butler into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Goran Dragic. Consistent effort. He's at 50%.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
LeBron with it up top. Leads 3. Easy path to the rim.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Dragic to Butler. Fine to shoot for Miami. To Butler. Lets it fly from long range. Too much contact. And free throws coming.
No, no, no. I'll tell you. The team that makes the little mistakes, like committing unnecessary reach-in fouls like that, will be the team that ends up with the L.
And he connects on the first free throw. And he hits the second. Hits all 3 free throws. LBJ with it. Probing the defense. Nice pass to set things up. And he knocks it down. Jay, nice look right there.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Dragic into the front court. His guys trail now by 4. Butler sizing up Cousins. To Waiters. Shot clock for the Heat down to 3. Jimmy Butler for two. And the rebound taken in by Davis. Eight-second violation. It's going the other way. Dragic to Butler. A lot of contact, no whistle.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like the mere presence of him in the paint was enough to throw off the concentration of the guy trying to drop the layup in.
Whistle blows, intentional foul.
Okay, now look over to the sideline and see what the staff is trying to draw up on the next play. That's good clock management thus far.
And they'll get the intentional foul here with 17 seconds to go.
Too close to call right now. We're in clock management mode. That was a good play.
Oops, he missed the first one. Misses the second as well. Dragic with it. Down four. Waiters buries it on the catch and shoot.
Just because someone is listening to you doesn't mean that they actually hear you. At the end of the game, when players get tired, they listen to what the assignment was, but they didn't hear what it was.
LeBron James, tough matchup against Butler. Two huge free throws in a one-point game. Intentional foul is going to make him earn it at the line.
In the 80s, that might have been a personal, but regardless, it had the same impact. You just injected a little life into your squad just when they needed it.
First try at the line, no good. Knocks down the second after missing the first. Now the Heat going to use a timeout. They trail by 2. And the question, do they look for the tie in overtime? Or do they go for it all with a 3? Waiters, defended by Cousins. This for the tie. The Lakers get the victory as they win a close one by 2. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Hey everyone, it's Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Lakers got the win in a close game. The statistic that seems to stand out in 3D is their assists. So many of their points were made possible by their team chemistry, and it was great to see. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Los Angeles Lakers. The Heat must be devastated after such a close loss. The way they shot the ball was outstanding, but even still, it wasn't enough to get the result they wanted. More often than not, you're going to win games when you shoot the ball as well as they did here today.
Game track. Field goals.
This was a matchup in which solid shooting was prominently on display. I definitely enjoyed it. Like I'm loving enjoying all of these highlights right now. Great job of effective, efficient scoring from these squads.
Player of the game.
LeBron James could not have been more impressive in this game. The way he scored the basketball looked like he was playing with kids in high school.
Who was cold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this segment. He was definitely cold in this game. Here are the top 3 plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
And that does it for our post-game wrap-up. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. Thanks for joining us.